What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another action-packed and debatable episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, boy. Alright, let's check it out. Today we're going to be talking about the gang life, okay? The reason why we're talking about that is because I got an email today. I'm not going to say who it's from. Actually, I don't even know who it's from. You know, the name is it's not a name. But anyways, let me read the email to you really quick. He says, I'm sure you get mad emails, so I won't take up too much of your time. I'm from the East Coast. In my state, there's various gangs. There's mainly up north in the city, but they're mainly up north in the city, but there's OGs, individual people making moves and sets all over. Okay, sets. That's key word in this. Sets. For the people that do not know what a set is, okay, let's just take, for instance, a Blood or Crip gang. They have numerous, sets, which is different factions within the gang. And they pretty much have their own leaders in each set. It gets complicated. But anyways, he goes on to say, where I'm from, there's gangsters here and there, but no real sets. When I was like 12, me and a bunch of my homies and I formed our own thing. Obviously, it was some stupid kid stuff. Being 12 and 15, we didn't know anything. Over time, we formed and changed what we fell under, and such as it was an independent at the time. And after being taught the game by some OGs, we formed a set. I never got permission from anybody, but no one ever said I was fake, and I've never switched up, lied about it, or was afraid to say where I'm from. I know in one of your videos you said if you were white and from a gang, you should keep under wraps if you get locked up. I did, but he didn't obviously hear the details on what I said about it. Now check it out. His question is, being a white boy that grew up in the hood claiming a set, if I go to prison, should I keep that quiet? On one hand, if they find out I'm lying, that makes me a sissy, and I'll probably get violated. On the other, if I say I'm so-and-so from woot-woot, so-and-so from wherever, I put it in other terms, they might not like that since, as I said, I never got permission and I'm some white boy. What should I do? Okay, check it out, man. Check it out. First of all, I said with two particular gangs, you should probably lay low and not even mention it when you get locked up, and that's Bloods and Crips, okay? Most, Bloods and Crips, if you're a white dude, and this is even in Virginia where the racial politics are not that strong. But from my own experience seeing white dudes come into the system and claim a Crip or Blood in prison, they usually get stomped out, okay? Or they're going to have to seriously put in some serious work to gain that respect within that fold, okay? That gang. Except for like a rare handful of individuals, these guys, white dudes that go into prison system claiming to be a Blood or a Crip, hey, they're more likely not claiming that ever again in their life. But check it out, there are guys, like I said in my previous videos, white dudes that get locked up and claim that stuff, and they just do their thing and, put in their work, and they're good to go. It does happen. There are some certain anomalies out there, but check it out. He's saying he made his own set. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. There's a lot. It doesn't matter if you're white or black. Okay, if you're claiming a set that has not gotten permission from someone high up and said, "Hey, you're allowed to start that own set," you're gonna have huge problems. Okay, huge problems because everyone's gonna think it's fake. Okay, and there's a lot of Blood and Crip sets that are fake. You know what I mean? They've been brought, they pretty much created it themselves, did not get the proper permission. Just like, using someone else's music and then you get copyright strike. You know what I mean? That ain't yours, man. You can't use that. It's the same way. You can't go out there claiming to be a Blood and Crip and making up your own set and then get in the penitentiary and these people ain't never heard of it at all. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You're going to get tricked. You're going to be put on Jump Street. It's just how it is. So my advice to this individual, if he's making his own set, okay, first of all, he's already going to be going through hell and high water. I asked him, this is what I asked him, because he didn't put it in his email. I said, first off, this is what I asked him. First thing, one sentence. I said, first off, what are you claiming? You know, and he hasn't replied yet. It's been about 2 days. He hasn't replied. And the main reason why I asked that is because I wanted to see, you know, that's the main question. Who are you trying to run with? And then we can start talking a little more about it, because there's so many different gangs out there. And there's so many different people making new gangs on itself. And I got some stories to tell you about that. But check it out. My personal advice to you, man, if you are watching this, if you are making a set, your own set, without permission from someone higher up, with a gang that is probably very popular, like Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, something like that, you're going to have some huge problems, man, for real. And, you know, this is a tricky thing. It depends. Let's say you're locked up in jail, okay? And all of your freaking... Look, I've seen this happen so many times. I've seen this happen so many times. Listen, there will be... Let's say you're in jail in that area, and a whole bunch of people from your set are in that jail. But for real, that set is fake, okay? But guess what? You're getting a free ride because there's so many numbers. There's so many people from that fake set in that jail. Well, guess what? When they get transferred up the road to the freaking mountains or something in the penitentiary, you're not in your area no more, okay? And your set with the numbers ain't there no more. So you get locked up in this prison, and that set is just fake, phony, whatever you want to call it. As soon as you step foot in that prison, it's a whole new ball game. That jail that you came from, of course, you're going to be good because you're surrounded by all the people in that area that are probably from that set. You know what I mean? So I've seen people, they'll go to prison, they'll jump sets. They'll completely just straight change up and join a whole nother set. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man, but that's how it goes. There's people that are getting locked up in their area, and that stuff is cool. But as soon as you get to the penitentiary, man, it's a whole nother ball game. I can't sit here and explain it enough to you. Like, I see people get tricked up all the time because of this crazy stuff, and you'll be surprised, you know? So what I'm saying is this, man, you're going to be, hey, look, it's cool to start your own little branch, okay? I understand that you might have a lot of numbers in your area, but I'm telling you, when you get to the penitentiary, when you start changing the areas, especially if you get fed time or something, you go to a whole nother state, man, that set ain't going to mean nothing. You're going to be in trouble, man. I recommend you don't be doing no gang banging, period. You know what I mean? That's what I recommend. But of course, you're probably not going to listen to me. But yeah, that is what it is, man. You form your own set without the permission from the right people. Hey, bro, I'll be praying for you, dog. So I hope that answers your question, man, about making your own set. It's a very dangerous game you're playing, you know what I mean? But anyways, check it out. I want to talk about forming new gangs, okay? New gangs. Believe it or not, there's new gangs being formed on a regular basis. I'll never forget it, man. I got 2 funny freaking stories for y'all about gang life. Look, every time I get locked up, every single freaking time, one of the first people that come in there after I get booked is the gang unit. They come in there, they freaking try to analyze all my tattoos and decipher me like they're freaking working in over there in the pyramids reading hieroglyphs or something. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no. They're like, are you this? Are you that? No. I'm like, no. Look, I'll never forget this one time. This one dude from the gang unit, he came in there, man, and he's like, yo, so you a part of the Screaming Eagles? Screaming Eagles? I looked at him, I said, man, what the hell is the Screaming Eagles, man? I said, is that some kind of volleyball team, man? You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell is a Screaming Eagle? I have never heard that thing in my life, man. And, you know, I was dying laughing at this dude. You know, sometimes these gang units, they know a lot of information. They do, but they see a lot of fake bull crap all the time. And that might have been some kind of crazy new gang that was building up in the area, so they had to ask. You know, I might have had a tattoo that resembled something along those lines, but Screaming Eagles, man, that just gave me a good laugh. You know what I mean? And regardless, you know, even if I was banging or something, I would never tell them, yeah, that's me. I would never do that. You know what I mean? But Screaming Eagles, that's a whole nother story. And check it out, another story. I used to live in an area called Indian River. Okay, that's where I grew up at, and when I moved to this, it was like a whole nother area, man. It wasn't no hoods out there or nothing. and there was this group of people in the high school that I was at, and they made their own gang. It was called L40. I really don't even know what the hell that means. I think somewhere along the lines they like to smoke L's and drink 40s or something. I don't know. But when I got locked up, I had gang unit dudes come and ask me if I was a part of this gang called L40. And I knew exactly what they were talking about. And I actually knew dudes that were in it. You know what I mean? They were pretty cool dudes. I'll never forget this one dude named Jay, man. We used to have push-up contests in jail all the time. And I'm pretty sure he said he was a part of that little fashion statement, whatever it was, gang, whatever. But what I'm trying to say here is, let's say, there were people in the area getting locked up that are part of this clique, L40 or whatever. If they went to the penitentiary and started saying, yeah, I'm L40, L40 this. Okay, well, man, nobody knows what the hell L40 is, man. You're going to get stomped the hell out. That's just the facts of life, man. And look, can you even start your own street gang? Yes, you can. Anyone can start a street gang, bike club, whatever you want. But guess what? It depends on what you're doing. Are you going to be that real street gang in the same bracket as Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings? Okay, are you going to fall in that bracket? If so, if you're trying to make your name for yourself and really start that gang, man, look, trust me, there's one key ingredient to it, okay? Not only is there going to be violence, you're going to have to show mass amounts of violence, dealing with drugs, dealing with guns. You're going to have to deal with all that stuff in order to be in the mix of that. But guess what? There's one main ingredient now. Numbers. Numbers. How fast that thing grows, how fast it blows up, and how fast it spreads. It's numbers. That's all it is. If you got the numbers, you can make whatever the hell you want. And when I say numbers, I'm not just meaning numbers on the streets, how many soldiers you got on the streets. I'm telling you, the most important part is what's incarcerated, for real. Because if you're doing dirt 90% of the time, half those cats are going to be getting locked up. You know what I mean? So they're going to have to be following that strict code of conduct in the penitentiary. They're going to have to fight for what they're claiming, that new gang, whatever the case is. And that's where it all usually crumbles apart, because people don't really run with it when they get locked up and they're surrounded by these other huge gangs that are already put into place. Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, all the Mexican Mafia, all those gangs are in the system. So if you're starting your own gang and you're trying to keep it going for real, your numbers are going to have to be just as strong in the system as they are in the streets. And that's just the facts of life, man. Numbers, There's power in numbers. There's power in unity. But can you make your own gang? Of course you can, man. I mean, it could be a good gang. There's gangs all over the area, You could just, have a gang of moped, parkour guys. I don't freaking know. And, I got another funny story to tell y'all. I'll never forget this. And this one was actually on the rise, and I believe it's still on the rise. I don't know, but I remember I got locked up back in the day, and the gang unit came to me. He said, hey, man, you a juggalo? I said, juggalo? I said, what is that, man? And this is before I knew anything about juggalos, juggalettes, whatever. ICP, Insane Clown Posse, I guess is what it is. I really don't know too much about these characters. But anyway, check it out. They're like, you a juggalo? I said, what? I said, I have sex for money or something? What are you trying? Am I like a male pimp or male prostitute? I didn't know what they were asking me. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, man. Look, and he looks at me stupid. I'll never forget. He goes, nah, man. I'm like, well, how the hell am I supposed to know what the freak a juggalo is? I don't know what the hell am I juggling something? I don't know what the hell you want me to say to that, man. I'm thinking he's asking me if I'm sleeping with women for money or something. I'm like, well, that's none of your business if I was or not. You know what I mean? But he actually sat there and explained it to me, man. Can you believe that? He sat there, because I was in the hole, actually. I was in the hole. I can't remember what I was doing there at the time. I must have done something stupid, but I was in there, and he came up in there and asked me about this, and he sat there and taught me for about 40 minutes on what a juggalo is. And I was like, man, this is very interesting. I've never even heard of this type of people. But believe it or not, as time went by and I was locked up, I started seeing the little hatchet guy. Little hatchet guy, is that what it is? They got a little hatchet guy running tattoos. I started seeing those tattoos everywhere, and they were growing pretty rapidly. And I haven't been in the system since 2013 or 14, and so I don't know. Maybe it's still growing, but I don't never see them out here in the streets or anything like that. But yeah, that was a pretty funny story about being a juggalo. I thought he was asking me if I slept with girls for money, man. I was like, what the hell is going on here, man? You know? But there are so many new gangs popping up left and right. But look, my biggest piece of advice, and I'm going to end it right here on this. My biggest piece of advice to anybody that's doing that, they're actually falling into that street gang criteria, man, where you're going to have to be doing violence. And look, just stop where you're at now, man. Turn around while you're ahead. Turn around while you're ahead, man. There's no future in the gang life, man. You might see these rappers out here making millions of dollars and they're claiming that gang life. Hey, it is what it is. They made it. They did. That's an anomaly. You know what I mean? Most people in the gang life are living a life of penitentiary, pain, and they're broke as hell. You know what I mean? They might have their time of wealth selling that dope, whatever they do. But I'm telling you, man, that crap does not last long. Okay? Even the best, most powerful gangsters in the world get got. Turn around and make an honest living while you still can, man. And uplift brotherly love, man. You know what I mean? Show all your attention, not to a gang, but to your own family, to your own loved ones. Make babies, you know. Enjoy your time with your children. That's what you need to be focusing on. But like I said, I got a lot of homeboys that are banging, man. And I tell you what, you know, no disrespect to y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all chose y'all's path. You know what I mean? Y'all chose y'all's path, and I respect you. And I salute to everyone out there that's doing their own thing. But at the end of the day, I'm my own man, and I don't want to question to no one else. And that's probably one of the main reasons why, you know, I do what I do today. You know, I strive to be my own boss because I don't want to answer to anybody else. I don't want nobody to tell me what to do except for my Father above. And he doesn't even tell me what to do, okay? He's laid down the law, and I choose whether or not I want to follow that law. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, some people, they need that structure in their life. And if you're the type of person that wants to answer to the OG and follow his every command, or if you're the type of person that wants to join the military and follow your higher ranking officials' command, hey, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's your life. That's your choice. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done it already. Go check out the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. But if anybody gets anything out of this video, I hope it's a youth, man. You know, mark my words. I've seen it all, man. I've seen the both sides of the tunnel. I've seen them real gangsters. I've seen them fake gangsters, man. I'll tell you what, they both have a rough life, man. Majority of the guys I've seen doing this stuff, when they get older, they turn their whole lives around, you know, and they kind of just put that crap on the back burners, and all they're doing is uplifting their family and making honest living. I'm telling you, I've seen it so many times, man. Turn around while you still can, my friends. You know what I mean? But as always, I want to salute to every last one of you who have been supporting me since the beginning, and everyone who is just now joining the lockdown compound. Y'all be easy and be safe out there.